Think about the person who annoyed you the absolute most this week. Like, just get them right in your head. Now, what if I told you that your frustration with them actually might have very little to do with their behavior and, well, almost everything to do with your own warped perception of time?
Yeah, that is a really tough pill to swallow. I mean, we are just so wired to expect immediate behavioral changes in people. We completely forget the actual mechanics of how, human beings develop.
Right, exactly. So welcome to this deep dive into a really fascinating short text. It's titled Day 16, and it's centered around Ephesians 4.2. And our mission today is to completely tear down and basically rebuild your definition of patience.
Which is so needed right now.
It really is. We are moving away from this old idea of patience as just, quietly gritting your teeth and passing the time. Instead, we're looking at it as a super active, deliberate expression of love.
And that is a profound shift because, I mean, look at us. We are constantly trying to optimize our lives. We want to life hack everything, like listening to a podcast on double speed just to consume it faster.
Oh, I am totally guilty of that.
Right. But when we apply that exact same optimization mindset to our human relationships, things get really uncomfortable really fast.
Okay, let's unpack this because there is one specific visual from the text that really drives this home. And it talks about a gardener. So a gardener can provide water and sunlight, sure, but they cannot physically pull a plant upward to make it grow faster.
Right. You just end up snapping the stem.
Exactly. You uproot the whole thing. It actually made me think about baking, oddly enough. It's like yelling at a cake to bake faster in the oven. Turning the heat doesn't speed up the process at all.
No, it just burns the outside completely while the inside stays totally raw.
Yes. And we do the exact same thing to people.
We really do. And what's fascinating here is how that plant analogy completely dismantles our default response to waiting. Because when you force an arbitrary timeline on someone's growth, you aren't just speeding them up.
You're actually making it worse.
Exactly. Psychologically, you are triggering their defensive reflexes. That pressure actually stalls their development entirely. True patience is just not passive. It's not repeatedly checking your watch and sighing.
Right, just tapping your foot and huffing.
Yeah. It is an active, conscious decision to choose kindness over irritation and understanding over judgment while that really slow internal growth is happening.
I hear that, and I mean, in theory, it sounds wonderful, but let's be real for a second here. Isn't there a line?
What do you mean?
Like, if a coworker keeps making the exact same mistake on your projects or someone is just actively holding you back, isn't this active patience just a nice excuse for being a pushover?
Oh, that is such a good question.
Because how do we actually balance giving people grace with, having actual boundaries?
Well, that is the crucial distinction right there. Setting a boundary is about protecting your own space and your own workflow. Impatience, on the other hand, is an emotional demand.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a demand that someone else's internal timeline matches your external convenience. And the text points out a really uncomfortable truth here. Life just moves at vastly different speeds for everyone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Some people learn new skills or heal from unseen wounds incredibly fast, while others, they carry baggage that takes years to sort through. You can set a boundary with that coworker without internally resenting them for not being faster.
Wow, so we tend to judge our own growth by our good intentions, but we strictly judge others by our deadlines.
Yes, exactly.
Oof. Judging others by our deadlines. That really hits close to home. So what does this all mean for you, the listener, in the heat of the moment? Like, how do you actually apply this active patience when someone is just pushing every single one of your buttons?
Well, the text highlights a core principle for exactly those high stress moments. It argues that our impatience almost always stems from expecting from people what only time and grace can produce.
Right, we want the finished product right now.
Yes, when you feel that blood pressure rising, it's usually because you want an instant download of a perfected person. But you have to remember the immense room to grow that you've been given in your own life, despite your past failures.
Because, I mean, none of us became who we are overnight.
Exactly. You have to extend that exact same psychological real estate to them. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, there is a highly actionable step here for you to try out today.
Okay, let's hear it.
Pick one specific person who recently tested your patience. Just one. Before you react to anything that frustrates you with them today, just force a tiny gap. Pause for a few seconds and silently ask for help to respond with patience.
Let's talk about that gap for a second, because widening it in a high-stress moment is so incredibly difficult. But physiologically, taking a single deep breath in that tiny gap actually interrupts your fight or flight
Oh,
response.
right. It stops you from reacting out of pure reflex.
Exactly. It allows your rational brain to step in so you can respond with actual intention.
Because that tiny gap between their action and your reaction, well, that is where active love actually takes place.
It really is. And the text wraps up with a quote that perfectly anchors this entire concept. It says, "Patience is not the ability to wait. It is the choice to love well while you are waiting."
Which is so powerful. And it leaves you with this final thought to explore on your own. If patience is truly the active choice to love well while allowing others the time they need to grow, does our sudden impatience actually reveal more about our own deep desire for control than it does about the other person's flaws?